Sound Off. Horry and Georgetown counties, we welcome you back to Sound Off. Again, Sound Off is heard weekly on your favorite radio station, and we are happy to announce that Avant Auto Repair is a proud, very proud supporter of Sound Off, and Sylvester Avant Jr., better known as Sly. His business is located at 3441 Kates Bay Highway here in Conway, and Sly does business with integrity. And so the Sound Off crew, we're happy to say good morning to you, Sly, and we thank you for supporting us. Again, our very special guest, my good friend, April Garner, came all the way from Horry Georgetown Technical College and kicking some good knowledge on this morning. We certainly appreciate you coming in. I'm telling you, I've learned, and I'm a career specialist, and I know that young people in the community have definitely benefited from this series. And we're going to call it a series because guess what? We're going to do part 2.
Absolutely.
Maybe even part 3.
Very good.
My name is Claudine Lance Schofield, but more importantly, Sound Off crew, would you like to reintroduce yourselves at this time?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Janica.
Always with the other languages. How you doing, Tariel?
No, we're getting a lesson in foreign language as well.
It's important. It is important.
Foreign language.
But for me, but I never. Don't do that. I get confused because I don't know.
Now everybody know me llamo and hola. Don't play.
That's what you think. Anyways, let's get on the topic.
Okay, April, I think I want to continue on the financial aid piece because, again, you know, a lot of students, they really, really, really think that if their parents can't afford to send them to college, they can't go to college. So since we're on the college kick, let's talk about, I know at Horry Georgetown Technical College, you offer several workshops, FAFSA workshops. So, you know, I have several parents that will say, I really don't understand how to fill it out. So let's talk about the different services that you offer at Horry Georgetown Tech, or the college offers, and then let's go from there.
Absolutely. We actually host what we call College Goal each year, and that is a Saturday workshop where parents can come in, and we encourage students to do it as well, and actually sit down with representatives of the financial aid department. They will go over the actual FAFSA application with parents. You would bring in all of your tax documentation and any other information that you need to fill out the FAFSA. And I think a lot of times people forget that, you know, it is based upon certain things such as income, or maybe they don't know that. So, you know, a part of filling out that free application is making sure that you have all of your documentation ready, making sure that you bring in your W-2s at the beginning of the year. I would always encourage parents and students to start in January if you can. As soon as you get that W-2 form, or those W-2 forms if you you know, are a two-parent household, you know, get ready to do the FAFSA application. Not only is College Goal offered at certain points throughout the year, but you can actually come to Horry Georgetown Tech at any given time. We have a WaveNet Central office, and we have representatives in that office who can sit down with you and walk you through the FAFSA process. So there, you know, there's always someone on standby to help parents work through the application process. And if there are things that you don't understand about it, you know, they can answer the questions, or either get someone who can answer the questions for them.
Okay, all right. So I think during the break, we were talking about when students have the GPA and they go, say, Horry Georgetown Tech, for example, and you're fortunate enough to get the Life Scholarship and maybe even qualify for Pell Grant. Let's talk about that thing we call a refund. You know, I love people talk about refund. What exactly?
That's
Let's
a beautiful
assume
word.
that people don't know what happens
Involuntarily.
and how people are fortunate enough to get refunds.
Right.
The advantages and disadvantages.
Exactly, the advantages and disadvantages. Okay, well, I'm going to try to break it down as simply as possible. Whenever you are awarded your financial aid package, basically you're awarded grants, loans, work study, etc. Now, most people are, you know, like we said, if they have a 3.0 GPA, then they're probably also awarded a Life Scholarship. So there you have at least two sources of income or financial aid that will actually help you pay for college. That Life Scholarship, if you have a 3.0, and Pell Grants. If you're awarded a Pell Grant, then you could probably get the maximum in Pell Grant, and that's money that you don't have to pay back.
Okay.
Now, then there's also the offering of what they call subsidized and unsubsidized loans, and I'm not going to get into the details of both, but what I can say is that sometimes students will opt to take that extra money, which means that they will accept the loan money and may not need it for whatever reason. And that is what happens whenever you hear about high student loan debts. It's because students are taking in more than they actually need to pay for school. So you want to be mindful that you are getting enough to cover your expenses such as tuition, books, and supplies. However, you don't want to be over the top about it and get the extra money to say, live off of it for the year, or some of the, reasons that we normally hear students saying that they'll take out that extra loan money. Because what happens is at the end of your academic career, you're going to be faced with student loan debt that you can't justify, meaning you had other means of actually getting that degree for free, but you chose to take the loans so that you could apply that money to other things. Some people get loans to, get cars, to pay for rent, things of that nature. And, sometimes you have to do what you have to do, but you have to do it in a reasonable way. So, it's good to go ahead and map out a financial plan for paying for college, understand what you can contribute and what you can't. Sometimes you may need that extra help just in case life isn't enough or Pell Grant isn't enough in the case of students who are going to four-year colleges. Then you back in the loans. And then, of course, you have to decide which of the two loan types that are offered is best for you. And financial aid counselors at colleges and universities will explain both types. They'll explain the repayment schedules, the interest rates, which you have to be mindful of, because if you're following anything in the media that has to do with student loan rates, we were all very nervous about the fact that those student loan rates actually went up for a very short period. They doubled. And then, the government met and decided that they would lower the rates, but only for a couple of years. So, when those rate schedules start to kick in and those interest rates start to kick in, you could see yourself with an extreme amount of high debt, and also very high monthly payments whenever you're trying to repay those loans. So there again, the pros of it, the money is available. Bad part about it is it's very tempting to abuse it. And you have to remember that you're only extended this money for a certain period of time. So if you are in a 2-year degree program, for instance, and you are maxing out on the amount of loan money that you can actually receive, by the time you're going to a 4-year university to get your bachelor's degree, you won't have any money left. Yeah, there won't be any money available to you. Then how are you going to complete that degree program? Or if you're taking forever to complete your associate degree program, usually you can complete a program in 2 years. If you're taking 5, 6, or 10 years to complete these programs, then you're gonna, see yourself with a lot of debt. I want to say that the maximum amount of debt that you could possibly incur at any given time is upwards of around $50,000 or $60,000 as far as loan debt is concerned, and that's available loan money to you. There again, we have people who are walking away with that kind of debt for 2-year programs, and that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Okay, Terrell and Jonica, anything else before we wrap up?
All right, with the financial aid or whatever, you said something about what do you call it? Campus Gold or something like that?
College Gold.
College Gold. Okay. So it's like when we get there, say if somebody does go there and they are just completely clueless, what's the process? What do they do?
What do they do?
Yeah.
Okay. You can start by making sure that you have all of the necessary documents to complete the FAFSA application. And usually that's your W-2 forms, any tax documentation that you have to report to the government on an annual basis. Bring that information with you to the College Gold Workshop or to Horry Georgetown Tech, for instance, if you're planning to attend, and sit down with a representative. They will show you how to go through the actual application, what information you need to pull from your W-2s or from your tax information, and how to enter all of this information into the actual application that is online. Also, if you are completing this FAFSA, let's say, for instance, you are considering Horry Georgetown Tech, but you're also considering some other colleges as well. You'll want to make sure to include the college codes on the FAFSA application for all of the colleges that you are planning to attend or that you're looking at, so that they can go ahead and start calculating financial aid packages for you as well. That way, if you should decide, okay, well, I'm going to go to Coastal or I'm going to go to USC or wherever it is you plan to go, they will already have your financial aid information based upon what you put in during the workshop. And there again, we encourage students to definitely look at the possibilities of cutting college costs by considering technical colleges or junior colleges, because you can get your 2 years worth of general education requirements out of the way, paid in full through Life Scholarship, for instance, or even the Pell Grant will cover it if you are awarded full Pell Grant. And then think about that university transfer. Right now, Tech has a job placement and university transfer rate of 94%.
Wow.
Horry Georgetown Tech has a 94% job placement and university transfer rate, which is, a really strong number. And it's good that you can actually come to Tech for 2 years, get your general education requirements, and actually, have that requirement paid for in full before you transfer. Also, that job placement rate means that we have students who are in internships who are getting employment through those internships after they leave the college.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you said a lot of good things, but just for those people that might just be tuning in, let's do a recap. Okay, so everybody's not going to go to college. Some people might do military, workforce, or what have you. But let's talk about the importance of career exploration as it relates to any of those areas as we do a recap.
Absolutely. Basically, it's introspection, which means that you have to understand what makes you tick. You have to understand what makes you happy. You have to understand where your interests are, what your passions are. That's a very strong word, and it's the one word that you should, hang on whenever you're trying to figure out what you need to do with the rest of your life or what you want to do. So explore the career options. Think about what you like to do most, and then find options that are related to that. When it comes to choosing colleges, make sure you find colleges that are strong in terms of, the academic offerings that they have for the things that you're interested in doing. For instance, Jonica mentioned journalism, so she can look into a lot of different schools that have strong communications programs. Right. And then from there, you start to put the pieces together, and you will come up with, a more defined career path versus just, stepping out and hoping that it works. You've actually done your research. You know what options are going to be available after you graduate based upon your level of experience and knowledge, and also that the college is going to support all of your endeavors.
Okay, very good. We have a lot of good schools in South Carolina, but since you're from Horry Georgetown Technical College, we're going to toot your horn a little bit. Let's talk about some of the wonderful things that are going on at Horry Georgetown Technical College as we end this segment.
Okay. Well, I know that everyone has noticed, if you're driving up and down 501, that we have a major campus makeover project going on. It actually affects all 3 of our campuses. All of the older buildings that you see on Tech's campus will be gone in a couple of years, and we're getting all new state-of-the-art buildings. We now have a brand new engineering and technology building and a brand new early college high school, and they're starting to just resurface everything and create driveways, and we are also working on a new culinary department, and that building will be on the Grand Strand campus. It's going to be kind of in the framework of a kitchen stadium. Oh, wow. And so our culinary students are going to really enjoy that atmosphere as far as learning how to work in the kitchens. And we have a couple of new academic programs. We've added a welding component and also fire science. So there's lots of different offerings. And, the best way to find out about what Tech has to offer is to take a campus tour.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
So, make sure that you talk to your schools about the possibility of coming to Tech, taking a walkthrough of any of the campuses. We'd love to have you. And we're turning our campus tours into a career discovery exercise as well. So that will give students a chance to ask the questions that they have about college and think about it before they actually have to make decisions.
Wonderful. That's what I was going to ask you. So if teachers are interested or someone that's listening want to do a tour at Horry Georgetown Tech, should they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me, and we can make it happen.
Okay, let's give us some information. How can they contact you?
Absolutely. You can email me if you'd like. The best way to get in touch with me is just to simply call and leave a message. You can call me at 843-349-7870, and I will connect with the campus recruiter, and we can schedule a tour.
Okay. Absolutely wonderful. April Garner, y'all, let's give it up. Career spread, that was weak.
I mean, you stopped clapping, so we stopped clapping.
What did I say my phone number was?
843-467-2698. I don't know.
I don't think that was the right number.
What did I say was my phone number?
2, 1. Once again, Sound Off crew, let's give it up for our very special guest, April Garza, career specialist and also the Career Resource Center coordinator at Horry Georgetown Technical College. We certainly appreciate you coming by and giving us such vital information, and we have to do part 2. Do you agree to come
Absolutely.
back? Okay.
I'll bring some of my crew.
Okay, so after maybe financial aid, student affairs?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And make sure your crew got some food though. So I'm hungry.
It's early. Terrell says it's time to eat.
It's time to eat.
Well, you know
It's
how we
always time
do
to eat.
at Sound Off, April. We never allow you to leave without giving you the opportunity to shout some people out. So who would you like to shout out?
Well, of course, I'd like to shout out my friends and family at Horry Georgetown Tech. I'd like to shout out my mother and my daughter English and anyone who supports career development.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'd like to give a shout out to my father, Chris Patel. He's up in Virginia right now doing his thing. Also, like to give a shout out to my aunt, LaPetra Anderson. I love you so much. I hope you're doing good. Can't wait to see you Sunday for this big old gospel thing we having for you. And also like to give a shout out to the nearest food place, 'cause I'm about to go up there and tear y'all food up. Yeah.
I would like to shout out my loving parents, Stephen and Pearl Brown, my awesome brother, Jonathan Brown, my best friend, Asia, and everybody that I'm going to see next Monday in Baltimore. I love you guys.
We would also like to send out our condolences to the Mr. Joe Blaine family. Our thoughts and prayers are with you as you are going through the loss of a loved one, and just letting you know Sound Off's here for you.
And as always, a very special shout out goes out to this very fine radio station. Like to shout out Tracy Hall, Michelle D. Berry, Diamond Holmes, and our new team member, Leslie Bennett on the 1s and 2s. Like to say good morning to you as well. And like to say good morning and tell my family in the Dunbar community, I have not forgotten about you. I love you so much. Horry and Georgetown counties, God bless you. And remember, we sound off and
You can sound off too.
What kind of production this is? This has been a 4x4 Entertainment production.